Welcome to my channel. If you're trying to learn English, but nothing seems to work, listen to this. I was just like you. I tried everything: apps, grammar books, long videos, but I still couldn't speak. My words got stuck. My brain went blank. Then I changed everything. I found a daily routine that finally worked. It was simple, powerful, and it changed my life. I'll share it with you now, step by step. Just follow me. And if you've ever felt stuck in English, comment yes right now. You're not alone. Chapter 1. The day I knew my method was broken. I remember the morning clearly. I had my phone in one hand and my English app open in the other. I had done this before, many times. Tap, repeat, tap, next word, repeat. I told myself I was learning, but deep inside, something felt wrong. I could say the words, yes. I could even get perfect scores on the app. But when I heard someone speak English in real life, my brain went blank. The words didn't come. My mouth didn't move. I felt frozen, scared, and small. That morning, I closed the app. I sat on the bed and stared at the wall. I asked myself a question that changed everything. Why can't I speak? I had studied for months. I watched English videos. I read grammar rules. I followed English teachers online. But still, when I had to talk, I stayed silent. My heart beat fast. My mind searched for words and found none. It hurt. It really hurt. I felt like a failure. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. Instead, I took a notebook. I wrote one sentence. My method is broken. That was the truth. It was hard to admit, but it was real. The way I was learning didn't help me speak. I wasn't learning like a real person. I was learning like a robot. Memorize, repeat, forget. I wasn't living English. I was only studying it. That's why it didn't work. That day, I made a promise to myself. I would stop doing what didn't work. I would stop chasing hundreds of grammar videos. I would stop memorizing lists of words I never used. I would stop feeling bad about not being perfect. I would start fresh. I would build a new routine, a simple one, a real one, something that made English part of my life, not just part of my homework. I thought about how babies learn language. They don't sit with grammar books. They don't take notes. They listen. They watch. They feel. They copy. And they do it every day. Slowly, their brain connects sounds with meaning. They speak without fear. I wanted that. I wanted to feel free. I wanted to speak like myself, not like a student, but like a person. So, I started small. That very day, I spoke one sentence to myself in English. I am tired. Then I said another. I want to change. Then a third. I will speak English. My heart felt a little lighter. It was not perfect, but it was real. I was speaking, not studying, not memorizing, just speaking. That was the beginning of something new. I didn't have a perfect plan, but I had a strong feeling. If I made English part of my daily life, it would become natural. I would stop being afraid. I would stop feeling like a beginner. I didn't need to know everything. I just needed to know a little more each day and use it, speak it, live it. That day, I deleted 3 English apps from my phone. I kept only one podcast, a short one. I played it once. I didn't understand much, but I listened. I let the sounds enter my ears without stress. I whispered one phrase I heard. It's a sunny day. I repeated it 3 times. It felt good. It felt possible. That night, before sleeping, I told myself in English, I will do better tomorrow. And I did. This was the day I stopped being a language student and started being an English speaker. I was still learning, yes, but I wasn't just learning, I was becoming. I was building a new habit, a new mind, a new voice, one sentence at a time. And this was just the beginning. Chapter 2. Mornings that wake up my English brain. My mornings used to be slow. I would wake up, look at my phone, and scroll for no reason. Sometimes I would open an English video, but my brain wasn't ready. I didn't understand much. My eyes were open, but my mind was still sleeping. So I changed one small thing. I stopped checking social media first, and I started giving my first words to English. Before I left my bed, I sat up and said 3 simple sentences. I said, good morning, then I feel sleepy, then today I will learn. My voice was low and soft, but those words woke up my brain. It was not just about English. It was about feeling ready. I didn't care about grammar. I didn't care about rules. I just wanted to speak, and I did. I made a rule. 5 minutes. That's it. Every morning, I would spend just 5 minutes with English. No more. No pressure. I found a podcast made for beginners. The voice was slow and kind. The topics were easy. I played the same episode again and again. At first, it felt strange. I could not understand much, but I kept listening. One sentence became clear, then another. One word became familiar, then another. My ears started to open. I started to hear rhythm. I repeated the easy parts. I whispered them. I did not pause. I did not rewind. I just let the English enter my ears and come out of my mouth, slowly, naturally, calmly. Some mornings, I was tired. I didn't want to do anything, but I told myself, just 5 minutes. You don't have to be perfect. Just show up. So I showed up. I listened. I repeated. Sometimes I even smiled because something magical was happening. My brain started to think in English, just a little, but it was real. I would look at my coffee and say, this is hot. I would walk to the window and say, it's sunny today. I was not translating, I was thinking in English. That was new. That was special. And that was the goal. I used my morning routine like a key. A key to open my English brain. If I skipped it, I felt slow all day. If I did it, I felt strong. My thoughts were faster. My words came easier. And I didn't need a book. I didn't need a teacher. I just needed my voice, my ears, and a little silence. That silence in the morning became my classroom. No one judged me. No one corrected me. I was free to try, free to fail, and free to learn. That freedom made me brave. Sometimes I would write one sentence in my notebook, just one. I feel ready. Or, my English is growing. It didn't have to be deep, it just had to be real. I was building a habit. And habits are built with feelings. So I gave English a good feeling every morning. I made it simple. I made it soft. I made it part of me. And in return, English gave me progress. Now my mornings feel different. They feel alive. I don't wake up and scroll. I wake up and grow. My brain feels warm. My heart feels calm. And my English feels closer. Every single morning. Just 5 minutes. Just a few sentences. But those small things became my biggest strength. They showed me that fluency is not a faraway dream. It is something you wake up to again and again. This is how my English morning begins. Not with stress, not with pressure, but with simple, living words. And those words open my day like sunlight. Chapter 3. Midday Moments That Keep Me Learning. In the middle of the day, I used to feel lost. After my morning English time, I would do other things. School, work, family. Hours would pass, and English would disappear from my mind. I didn't know how to keep learning. I thought I needed more time. I thought I needed a quiet room, a teacher, a perfect plan. But I was wrong. I did not need more time. I needed more moments, small moments, real ones. So I changed my day. Not the whole day, just a few minutes. I made a small rule for myself. One English moment every afternoon. It could be 5 minutes or even less, but it had to feel real. No pressure, no bucks, just life. I looked around and started speaking to myself in English. I would see my spoon and say, "This is a spoon." I would drink water and say, "I am drinking water." I would walk outside and say, "The sun is hot today." These were small sentences, but they came from my life. I was not reading them, I was creating them. With my eyes, with my voice, with my world. And something amazing started to happen. I began to feel that English was not just a language. It was part of me, part of my day. I started to enjoy these small talks with myself. They were simple, but they were real. They were mine. I also made a small challenge. Every afternoon, I had to ask one English question. Just one. It could be anything. What is the difference between say and tell? How do I use have been? How do I describe food in English? I searched the question on YouTube. I watched short videos, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 5. I did not watch for fun. I watched with a real need, a real question. That made learning strong. My brain listened better. My heart remembered more. I did not try to understand everything. I only tried to learn one thing, one small thing each day. That was enough. I also repeated what I heard in those videos. I paused and spoke. I copied the teacher's voice. I said the sentence 2 or 3 times. It felt like talking to someone. I didn't care if I made mistakes. I was training myself. I was practicing. Some days I went for a walk. I looked at people, trees, cars, buildings, and I made sentences in English. She is wearing a red dress. That car is fast. The tree is very tall. These were not big sentences, but they were real. They helped me think in English. Slowly, my brain started to do it without effort. I stopped translating. I saw the world, and the English came. I did not wait for the perfect time. I used the time I had. 5 minutes during lunch, 3 minutes before a nap, 7 minutes while waiting for a bus. I used those moments. I filled them with English. I spoke to myself. I asked questions. I listened to answers. I repeated words. I felt progress. Not big progress, but daily progress. And daily progress becomes deep progress. This changed everything. I stopped feeling stuck. I stopped feeling slow. I felt active. I felt in control because I knew this was my day, my voice, my learning. I was not waiting for a teacher. I was not waiting for a perfect course. I was learning from my life. And that is the most powerful kind of learning. Now, every day at noon or afternoon, I smile. I know I will have one English moment. A moment to speak, a moment to ask, a moment to grow. It feels light. It feels good. It feels mine. Chapter 4. The Power of Shadowing in the Afternoon. I was alone in my room. I had a short English video on my phone.
The speaker was talking slowly. I listened once, then again. I liked the way the words sounded. Clear, confident, natural. I paused the video and repeated the same line out loud. I tried to copy the voice, the sound, the feeling. My voice was not the same. It felt weak, wrong. But I kept going. I repeated the line again, then again, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Slowly, my voice started to change. I was not just saying the words, I was becoming the speaker. This was the beginning of shadowing, and it changed everything. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a sentence, then you repeat it with the same tone, the same rhythm, the same pauses. Like an actor, you don't worry about grammar, you don't think about meaning. You copy the sound, you copy the feeling. It's like dancing with your voice. At first, I felt silly, talking to myself, copying a video. But after 1 week, something amazing happened. My pronunciation improved. My words came faster. My mouth felt stronger. My brain responded quicker. I felt more like a speaker, less like a student. I used short videos, movie scenes, podcasts, story clips. I chose voices I liked, calm, clear, kind voices. I played one sentence, I shadowed it. I did it 3 times, then I moved to the next. I didn't try to finish the video. I focused on a few good lines. Quality, not quantity. That was my secret. One good line could teach me more than 10 new words. Because I was not just learning, I was training. Like an athlete trains their body, I was training my English voice. Some afternoons, I stood in front of a mirror. I looked into my own eyes while shadowing. It was hard at first, but it gave me power. I watched my mouth move. I watched my face speak English. It made me feel brave. I started to believe that I could sound like a real speaker. I started to feel like English belonged to me. I also shadowed with subtitles sometimes. First I listened, then I checked the words. Then I shadowed, step by step. My ears learned to hear better. My tongue learned to move smoother. My confidence started to grow. I noticed small things, how native speakers pause, how they change their tone, how they connect words. I copied all of it, not perfectly, but honestly. Day by day, week by week, my voice changed. People around me noticed. "Your English sounds better," they said. That made me smile.
Because I knew why. I was not just learning English, I was living it, speaking it, feeling it, practicing like a performer, repeating like a singer. Shadowing became my favorite part of the day. It was short but powerful, just 10 or 15 minutes, but it felt like magic. It made my English strong and alive. I could feel it inside my chest, in my breath, in my sound, and that feeling gave me the courage to speak more in real life. I didn't need a classroom. I didn't need a perfect accent. I just needed my phone, my voice, and my will to grow. Shadowing helped me break the fear of speaking. It showed me that English is not just about words. It's about sound, emotion, rhythm. It's about confidence. Now, every afternoon, I shadow one video. Just one. One voice, one story, one chance to become better. And every time I do, I feel one step closer to fluency. Because I am not just studying English, I am becoming an English speaker, one sentence at a time. Chapter 5, My Night Routine That Builds Memory. At night, everything is quiet. The world slows down. My phone is in my hand, but I don't scroll anymore. I use that time for something different, something peaceful, something powerful. I use it to build my English memory, not with heart study, not with stress, but with soft practice. Before I sleep, I do one simple thing. I talk to myself in English. I close my eyes and remember my day. I woke up late today. I made tea. I talked to my friend. I studied English. These are small sentences, but they come from my life. They feel real. I say them slowly, calmly. I don't worry about mistakes. I just speak. In the dark, in silence, I speak English with myself. And that changes everything. I call it night talk. It's like writing a diary, but with my voice. I don't use a pen. I don't use a book. I use my memory and my mouth. This helps me remember words. It helps me practice grammar without thinking about rules. It makes my English natural. The words I say at night stay with me. When I wake up the next day, they are still inside me. My brain remembers better when it's relaxed. That's why night practice is so powerful. After I finish talking, I read one small English story, a short one, very easy, maybe 5 or 6 lines. I don't choose hard books. I choose simple stories with real feelings, sometimes about animals, sometimes about friends, sometimes about dreams. These stories make me smile. They make me feel safe, and they help me sleep. I don't read fast. I read slowly. I say the words out loud. I listen to how they sound. I feel their rhythm. That rhythm enters my mind. It becomes part of me. Even if I don't understand every word, I don't stop. I know my brain is listening. My brain is learning. Then, before I turn off the lights, I listen to English one more time. Just a few minutes. A soft English voice, a bedtime podcast, a story, a speech, something calm, something gentle. I close my eyes and let the words float around me. I don't try to understand. I just feel. I breathe slowly, and I fall asleep with English in my ears. It's a special feeling, like the language is hugging me, like it's saying, "You're doing great. Keep going." This routine has changed my life. I don't go to sleep worried. I go to sleep proud. I used to be afraid of English, but now it is the last thing I hear before I sleep. It is part of my day, part of my thoughts, part of my dreams. This feeling gives me hope. It tells me I am on the right path. Some nights I feel tired, some nights I don't want to practice, but I still do one small thing. Maybe just say 3 English sentences. Maybe read one short line. Maybe just listen to a few words. Because even small things matter. Even small steps take you forward. Even soft practice makes your English stronger. Now when I sleep, I feel peace because I know I did my part. I showed up, I practiced, I spoke, I listened, I remembered. My night was not wasted. My English was not forgotten. It was loved. It was used. It was alive. This is how I end my day, with English on my lips, with English in my heart, and with the quiet belief that tomorrow I will grow even more. Chapter 6. How I Stay Motivated Every Day. Some days are easy. I feel good. I want to learn. I open my English podcast with a smile. I speak to myself without fear. I enjoy every small step. But some days are not easy. Some days I feel tired. Some days I feel slow. Some days I ask myself, why am I learning English? Am I getting better or am I just wasting time? These are real feelings. I used to fight them. I used to feel guilty. But now I accept them. I know this journey is not a straight line. It goes up and down. And that's okay. The important thing is to keep walking, even when it's slow. So, how do I stay motivated? I found something simple. I stopped looking at how far I have to go. I started looking at how far I've come. I remember the days when I didn't know any English.
I couldn't say, "How are you?" I couldn't understand anything. Now I can speak full sentences. I can read easy books. I can write my thoughts. I can talk to friends. That is progress. That is proof. I may not be perfect, but I am not where I started. That gives me hope. That gives me strength. I also do something small every morning. I say one sentence to myself in the mirror. I am learning. I am growing. I am not giving up. This is my promise, my little reminder. It helps me begin each day with courage. It's like watering a plant. You don't see the growth every day, but it's happening. English is the same. It grows inside you, even when you don't notice. Now, one other thing that helps me is community. I found people who are also learning. Some are faster, some are slower, but all of them are trying. I talk to them online, I share my struggles, I listen to theirs. We laugh together, we help each other. This makes me feel less alone. When I see others growing, I feel inspired. When I fall, they lift me up. And when they fall, I lift them. Together, we keep moving. I also set tiny goals, not big ones, just small wins. Today, I will shadow one sentence. Today, I will learn two new words. Today, I will speak English for 5 minutes. When I reach that goal, I feel proud. That feeling pushes me to do more the next day. Small wins make big progress.
And when I feel really low, when I feel like giving up, I do one thing. I listen to my old self. I go back to the beginning. I read my old notes. I watch my old recordings. I see how far I've come. I hear the difference in my voice. And suddenly, I remember. I have already won many small battles. I just need to keep going. Motivation is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. A small voice inside that says, "Don't stop." I listen to that voice, even when I'm tired, even when I'm busy, even when I doubt myself, because I know this is my dream, to speak English, to live with English, to be free in this language. Now when people ask me, "How do you stay motivated?" I smile. I say, "I don't try to be perfect. I try to be present. I show up every day. I trust the small steps." And that is the truth. You don't need to be the fastest. You don't need to be the smartest. You just need to stay. Stay with English. Stay with your dream. Stay with yourself. Because if you stay, you will grow. Chapter 7. My Real Daily English Routine, from Wake Up to Sleep. This is my full day with English, my routine, my path, the one that really worked, the one that changed me from a silent learner to a confident speaker. It's not perfect. It's not full of big grammar lessons or long hours of study, but it is real. It fits into my life. It feels natural. And most of all, it works. Let me take you through my day step by step, from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them. My morning starts in silence. No scrolling, no stress. I sit up in bed and say a few English sentences. I whisper, "Good morning. I feel good. I will speak English today." These are small words, but they open my brain. Then I play a short English podcast, just 5 minutes. I listen. I don't try to understand everything. I just listen, and I repeat a few words, softly, calmly. This is my warm-up, like stretching before a run. It tells my mind, English is here. Let's begin. Later in the day, I go about my life, but I add English to small moments. While eating, I say, "I am eating rice." While walking, I say, "It is windy today." These sentences come from real life. They are short but true. I don't use a book. I use the world. I also ask one question a day, a real question. I search it, I find the answer. I listen, I repeat. I don't try to learn everything. I just focus on that one answer. It feels useful. It stays with me longer.
In the afternoon, I do shadowing. I pick one video, one voice. I listen to one sentence. I pause. I repeat. I copy the tone, the rhythm, the feeling. I do it 3 times, then again. I don't try to be perfect. I just try to sound alive. Shadowing makes me feel strong. I hear myself speak English with confidence. It gives me power. Even 10 minutes a day helps me feel real progress. At night, I do my favorite thing. I talk to myself in English. I say everything I did that day. I studied English. I walked outside. I cooked dinner. These are my own words. They are not from a book. They are from my heart. Then I read a small story, easy and beautiful. I say the words slowly. I enjoy the story. After that, I listen to one short audio before bed. A voice, a message, a dream. I fall asleep with English in my ears. It feels like magic. This is my daily routine. Morning, afternoon, evening. I don't rush. I don't force. I don't study for hours. I just stay close to English every day in a soft way, a real way. And this way works. I can speak now. I can understand now. I can think in English now. Not because I studied hard, but because I lived with English. I made it part of me. If you follow this routine, you will grow too. Not in one day, not in one week, but slowly, surely, step by step. You don't need special books. You don't need a big plan. You need simple steps, real practice, daily love. You can create your own English life starting today. This routine is not a secret. It's not hard, but it needs your heart, your voice, your daily promise. Just show up. Just speak. Just try. Every morning, every afternoon, every night. Let English walk with you. And one day, without even knowing when, it will become your language. If this video helped you, please click the like button, share it with a friend who is learning English, and most of all, comment below and tell me, do you want to try this routine? Type, "Yes, I will start today," if you're ready to change your English life. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more English stories, tips, and hope. Your journey is just beginning. Let's keep walking together.